Alright, what is going on, everybody? We have a pretty big set here, and I know it's not entirely like at its best because of the color of it. It doesn't really fit the background all too well. Well, it is fine. Just make do with what I have here. This is from the LEGO Star Wars 2020 Summer Release Wave, which we finally got after many months of delay due to the coronavirus, and we finally have it. This is the AT-AT, the 2020 version. It's not the first AT-AT we've gotten. A couple other AT-ATs in the past, including the First Order ATM-6. Unfortunately, I was sponsored back then, didn't have a channel, and I was broke, and I didn't have the older AT-AT models. So this is my very first AT-AT set. Now some of you watching are probably going to be thinking like, what a loser, he only has this one, he should have gotten the older ones with the First Order one and everything. Well, good to be, it's lucky you guys, okay? So this is the first AT-AT model that I ever have. So therefore, everything within this AT-AT model is new to me. You know, I can't really compare it and take other AT-AT models and put it right beside this one and do a comparison. I don't have that experience. So I'm going to base off my opinions of my first ever impressions of this set, which is my first ever AT-AT model. So, let the games begin. Let's get right to it. Alright, here is the big box for this $200 set. And this is to also, if you see right there, it's to celebrate the 40-year anniversary release since the release of The Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, pretty big box for a $200 set. And you can see two other in-film real AT-ATs, non-LEGO versions in the background right there. And let's see, this is set 75288 with 1,267 pieces right there, in case you can see because of the glare. And one can only assume General Veers and his pilots or his drivers are inside the head, because you don't really see them anywhere on the box art except for the selection of minifigures on the side here. And yeah, and then as for the back of the box, right there, showing you everything you can do within this walker, showing you that you can open this, open that, shoot this, shoot that, and the really cool harpoon play feature, which I will show you guys later on. And then right there, just promoting the new upcoming LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga game. So that's a way to promote the video game. And yeah, that is the box. Alright, because this is a pretty tall model, I had to kind of like zoom out really far, so therefore my reach to this thing is pretty far, so I'm gonna have to get up off my seat to actually show you everything within this set. But first and foremost, look at this, the size. Like I said, this is my first ever AT-AT, so this is my first time seeing a AT-AT in person, and I have not seen the previous versions. So, by my first impressions of this model, just yeah, the size, I couldn't be more impressed. It's massive. And it just looks absolutely crazy. And you put that right next to a minifigure, whoo! It's done quite well, I believe. So, super long legs makes it very tall, very heavy, and yeah, what more can I say? So, now that you've seen the overall model, I'm just gonna bring I'm gonna bring the tripod in closer so we can actually take a look closer at the model, and that I can actually don't have to reach so far to like touch the set. Okay, weight. Yes, this thing is very heavy. I'm lifting this with one hand, and this is like you can do lifts. You can do weightlifting with this. No need for a dumbbell. You just need an LEGO AT-AT model. Just do two. Like just get two of these models and just hold on one hand. Oh yeah. So this thing is quite heavy, so I would recommend, if you're a little kid, or just a kid in general, I would recommend an adult to help you carry this thing, because this thing is pretty heavy. Now, the legs, are they articulable or are they stuck like this? Well, of course they're articulable. It's gonna suck if they're not articulable. You can move the legs all the way out like this. Fold in the knees. The ankles can be moved as well. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. The ankles can be moved quite well. Now, this is where you gotta play supportive because it needs all 4 legs to successfully maintain its foundation, because you move one leg is off the feet, it ruins the balance because the overall model is very, very heavy. So articulation is great provided that you know what you're going for. So you can actually make this thing basically like a ready to sprint position all the way down like that. You can already see the pressure already, the force of gravity already at work here trying to bring this thing down. And then the back legs can move quite well. Now, look at that. See the legs? In terms of the foundations, the legs aren't the strongest. You can see it's starting to wiggle a bit. And yes, you can fold it like this and stuff. So you do need, be considered, you do need all 4 legs to keep this thing up due to its, super heavy size. But yeah, that's really the main thing I want to show about the legs, because other than that, the overall leg builds, it's what you normally would expect from the other AT-AT models, and looks very, very much accurate to the real AT-ATs. So like, here are the feet, in case you're wondering. There you go. All right, I'm putting this down because this is really heavy. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, you really gotta work well with the foundations here. All right, the head. I might as well show you now. The head, as you can see, has been moving left and right a lot. It cannot move up and down, unfortunately. I'm gonna move the camera up so you can see better. So yeah, unfortunately, you can't really move the head up and down. So it's just stuck, looking side to side like this, which is good because it still has some articulation. It is kind of like spring loaded, so it does have a little bit of bounciness within, but you can move the head itself and you can move the head, so you can kind of like, make the head go like, oh yeah, like bobbing up and down or like that. So it gives it in terms of like direction, it looks left and right pretty well. The legs are already starting to become loose, holy Jesus. And then yeah, but the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed from is the fact that you can't really move this head up and down. That would have been a lot better if it had such ability. Now, in terms of the weapons, cannons, and it has spring-loaded shooters tucked right underneath the bottom right here. And then you can see it is done quite well, so just simply fire it, gently touch it, like that, and it shoots. Very simple. Now, these spring-loaded shooters have been around for the longest of the times. So, oh, I just shot the other one. So it's no surprise, and yeah. Definitely, this is the way this is hidden within the head is pretty well. You actually don't see the red bolt sticking too much out, but then enough that you can still stick your finger underneath to trigger it. So it really looks like the cannons from like the built cannons on here are doing the actual shooting. So I'm gonna go get the other bolt right back. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna take a look inside the head. Alright, I'm back. Alright, to access the head inside, just simply lift this top part open all the way up like this. And then if you want, this thing can be folded up, but to be honest, it's better if you just leave the head open like this. Which means now you can take a look inside. Now inside can fit 3 minifigures, but the space, oh wait, you don't really see it. There we are. So yeah, as I was saying, inside you can fit a maximum of 3. But keep in mind, the space inside is very, very crowded. So you kind of have to cram your figures in, and so it will be a little claustrophobic. I'll give you that. So be mindful when you're stuffing your figures in. I would say maybe the best is just probably one at the back and then one actual driver. But then apart from that, yeah, not too much to show inside. I will put some figures in maybe later, but you get the gist. It's actually nothing too special. So at least you can access the head. I think some of the older models you can't really put anyone inside, so you just simply close it back up like that. Very straightforward. Now, it's not only the head that you can access. The main body itself, completely accessible, and which you can actually store stuff inside. So on the side here, you can open this up, It is on a Technic pin, so to open it, you just pull this out and you just lift it up. Notice how there's a Technic lift arm, 2 Technic lift arms right there, which would just bring it up beautifully. She can then open up and access inside. And that isn't the only part. No, there isn't. There is another one. Right here. So now you can basically completely expose the middle part. Now this is where there are many seats, and this is where you can store your troopers, or cargo. If this AT-AT was carrying a bunch of stormtroopers, you will sit them in here, and there's a total of 5 seats. You can fit 5 stormtroopers plus a few standing inside, so you can actually fit quite the amount of figures inside, which is done pretty well. I'll give you that, but there is space in it for another purpose. Now if I flip this around, just show you the other side what it looks like. If you're wondering what this is, this is just for like to store like the turret and everything. So yeah, so of course this is the only side you can actually access, because yes, you can fit this snow speeder, which we'll take a look in a second. You can fit this inside the walker, but obviously it's gonna be a little bit too painful to, you know, stuff the snow speeder in like this. So to do that, okay, let's just close this back up. And now we're gonna take a look at the rear of the AT-AT. And to just simply do that, you lift this up first, and then you lift this down. Now you can see there's space inside, which you can slide your snow speeder right on in. Now to really set in place, you gotta be a little careful, because it's not really. There you go. It's tucked in like that. And the way, in case you missed it, so you see there's 2, like where the pedals are, you just tuck them underneath. That's the little half tile right there, and just loosely lock it in place, and it's still attached like that. Now you just simply fold this back up, close this back in, and your snow speeder is inside the AT-AT. Don't want to see you want to see the speeder from another angle, so you just simply lift this back up, readjust this. So again, it is not attached too firmly, it's just very loosely attached, so be mindful of that. And so yeah, when you take it out to play with, so the whole purpose of it is to make sure you can the kids who are playing with the set, or you know, adults playing with the set, can easily take the speeder in and out very easily. Here's the back, in case you're wondering what it looks like. Very straightforward, doesn't look all too pretty, but what more can I say? Lego tried. At least it looks pretty decent. And now simply take the speeder back out, just like that. Very easy. Boom. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this walker. There's nothing too much to see. Oh wait, I can't forget. There's one more very important play feature that I almost missed. There's one more, and that is the top of the AT-AT here. You move this up. Whoa, are those gears you see? Yes, they are. There are gears inside, and they trigger a play feature. So if I move this up, so I'm just gonna put this back up. So if I, let's see, I'm just gonna move the camera down so you can see, oh, something's starting to come out. So if I keep turning the wheel inside where I showed you earlier, there's a harpoon coming out. There's a gun coming out. Now the point of this is to reenact the scene of Luke Skywalker holding a thermal detonator here. So reenact that moment in the Battle of Hoth where Luke shoots the harpoon like this, and then he like grapples up into the AT-AT, and it throws the thermal detonator in, blows up the crew inside, and therefore destroying this walker. So again, play features. You can recreate the entire scene with the play feature built within the walker itself. Can this thing reach all the way to the ground though? Well, let's find out. So let's keep reeling the wheel all the way down. I know this is going to be out of frame. I'll move the camera in a second. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. There we go. So now you can see Luke is all the way at the ground, and this train is feeding all the way into there. So now you can reenact the scene. So Luke shoots the harpoon, turn the wheel back up. Now should be a lot faster than the pace I'm going at here. Sticks all the way up here, takes his lightsaber, cuts the thing, throws the thermite detonator in, blows up the walker. So yeah, there you go. That's how you can reenact the whole moments from that scene. And now if you don't want the harpoon gun sticking out, just simply pull the wheel all the way up, tuck it back inside, and then you close the top just there. So yeah, this walker, this AT-AT is filled with a lot of play features, and that I appreciate very much because, you know, it has it brings a lot of joy and fun to the kids. Now, where does the string come out of? The harpoon come out of? This hole right here, in case you're wondering. So that, yeah, so that is really it for this AT-AT. And once again, great for a kid playing with, and great for an adult to put it on the shelf with. Lots of play features, definitely a very promising model. So, let's take a look at the minifigures and then the side builds. And here, oh, I just knocked it over. This is the Snowspeeder bike that we showed you earlier that you can insert inside the AT-AT. Now this will look like a pretty cool polybag build of its own. It's a very small and straightforward build, so nothing too special, but it still looks pretty good. Unfortunately, the way I don't like how this sits is how to sit the minifigure, the Snow Trooper on. It's just a little bit claustrophobic, but apart from that, you take him off. There you go. This is what the Snowspeeder bike looks like. It's actually not too bad, but they have to make sure they scaled this properly so it can fit within the interiors of the AT-AT walker pretty well. And they've done a pretty good job of it, despite this build being a little bit simple. So, yeah, not a bad bike though. I would say this will look pretty decent as a polybag set. Also, can't forget one more little side build here, and that is the E11 blaster turret, which I think the Snow Troopers use, attempting to shoot down the Millennium Falcon, and then in the actual battle, I think the Rebels were using this weapon against the AT-ATs as well. But I love how the tripod is actually built with more of these minifigure held blaster guns. That's very creative, and it actually looks pretty decent given the fact that this is on a tripod. And the E11 model itself builds very simply. Love the roller skate on the top acting as the scope. But yeah, apart from that, very straightforward build, which looks great to its core. So yeah, that's the side build. Alright, minifigures. Now there is a total of 6, but I'm going to take out 2 of them and just show you the ones we got in terms of duplicates for now. So we've got 2 Snow Troopers and 2 drivers for the AT-AT. The Snow Troopers will probably I'm assuming going to be the ones sitting inside the walker. These 2 will be the ones driving the walker. They are built exactly the same. The helmets being the same. I mean, in terms of the Snow Troopers, yes, and they have the same exact weapon. Fortunately, in the movies, the Snow Troopers had like that, under cape, or like more like a robe that they had tied around their waist. Unfortunately for the minifigure version here, they don't have that. It's just straight up bare armor. And underneath the helmet, no angry clone face. RIP angry clone face. And that's good because these are not clones. And I think LEGO finally caught on with that and realized that these troopers are actual human beings, human recruits, and not clones. So they did a good job of that. And the same exact thing goes for this Snow Trooper. What do you expect? But, you know, you got some people who wants to see, he just has a slightly different face. This one looks a little bit stoned, like he wants to go home or something. And then the AT-AT drivers. Very nice print on him. Just has a pistol, done very nicely, and then underneath the helmet, slightly different face, you know, more of like an angry expression, or maybe just concentrating on driving. That's such a big walker face. And then same thing for this driver with a much more cheerful face, kind of like a more determined face, and also he is holding a pistol in case you're wondering. But apart from that, yeah, we got 2 Snow Troopers, 2 drivers. I think it works out very well. I see this as an absolute win. The quantity is good. Now, we have 2 more special minifigures. Let's take a look at them. And here they are. Luke Skywalker on my left, sorry, and then General Veers on my right. Now Luke Skywalker here is the only good guy in this set. Everyone else are part of the Empire. Luke here is the only one from the Rebellion, and it's not just any Luke, it is the pilot Luke that I think, well, I mean, this came after his snowspeeder crashed. So, holding his lightsaber, of course, and his thermal detonator. I think I like this version of Luke a lot just because he's a rebel pilot stanza, and the printing on the helmet has a lot of details. It's got the Rebel Alliance symbols and everything, which looks absolutely amazing. Here's Luke, and you can see there's still his goggles right on there, printed on his face, and he's got another face here, a much more cheerful face. This one's kind of like an even more cheerful face. So it's pretty nice. I mean, Luke he clearly looks like he's having a good time trying to blow up this giant walker all by himself. Gotta say, this Luke very successful. And then General Veers, yes, he is an actual guy. He is one of the main admirals who will later lead the AT-AT assault. Got his thermal binoculars, and then you've got these helmets that the officers wear with the walkie-talkie or the comms literally printed right on his face. It's not even like a side bit or anything, and they include that with his alternate face as well, which is like a more stoned face. So that's pretty funny. They actually have the comm as part of his face print. Pretty creative. And then you just get the rest of the torso print. Nothing too special for the legs. The legs are very simple print, or no print at all. It's just a very simple color. So that's it. And these are the last two minifigures. So it's time to wrap up the review. And once again, let me just say the price. It is 200 Dari dues. This thing, of course, it's because it's a licensed thing. I definitely think this thing has a better price than Grievous the Starfighter, which is $120, which is ridiculous. This, for something this big, I'm convinced, you know, I'll buy it. That the fact that this something this big is $200 is acceptable. I think the price is reasonable, and the fact that it's licensed, so it adds about right. So the value is acceptable on this. Definitely a whole lot better than what's it called, the Grievous the Starfighter. Size, probably the same size from all the other models, but I gotta say it's a pretty big thing. And yeah, the size is pretty big compared to a normal minifigure. I think they've done this upscale quite well. And yeah, the play features within, lots of play features. I can really imagine a little kid having a blast playing with this. You know, such a big hunky model with lots of play features, and the springless shooters and the whole harpoon play feature. The kids are gonna have so much fun with the set. And as for adult collectors, this will certainly be a very cool looking thing to put on the shelf alongside your other Star Wars sets or your other AT-AT models, if you have the other AT-AT models. So yeah, I think this is done quite well. I would recommend you to get this set. I'm gonna give this a final overall grade of 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because I only wish the head can move up and down, which a little was disappointing. It can only move side to side. So what if a X-Wing flies right over it? Or if there's like a rebel trooper like right there, like the thing can't move down to shoot. And that means because if the head is stuck on this level, it can only shoot far. It can't really lean down and shoot at shorter distances like it actually can in the movies and the TV shows. But maybe I'm just being a little too nitpicky, but I definitely feel like that is a way that they can really take to improve this model 100%. Of course, there's always room for improvement, even if a set is perfect. So, that is it for this video. Those are my thoughts for this video, and those are my thoughts for this set. So, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button on the video. It will show the support. And subscribe to the channel for more, because trust me, I've got a lot more LEGO content coming your way very soon. So, do subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.